Hi, it's Jonathan, and in this video, I'm going to talk about how do you choose your niche or your niches. And if you're in certain parts of the world, you might be calling this a niche, niches. I'm going to call it niche. So even when you are starting out, maybe you're very, very new in building your practice and you probably want to take on as much work as possible, take the work that's out there, that's available to you. Even if you're at that stage, you still want to be thinking about what your niche is, about where you want to go to long term, because you do want to be positioning yourself as an authority in that area, in an area that you are passionate about, that you understand, that you have real credibility in. And you may be doing all sorts of other things early on, but that's the area where you really, really want to go. So you want to be getting started on that. And also you are going to be differentiating yourself in that area that you bring with that value and credibility and knowledge around. So whatever stage you're at, you really, really want to be thinking about your niches. Why do you want to focus on niches? And I know many people are scared of going to a niche because they might cut things off. But basically, when you are niche, you are going to be higher value. People looking for a specific niche will want to find you wherever you are. They will usually pay more for your services, for the value, for the knowledge, for the expertise that you bring. You'll probably enjoy working more in that area. And of course, if you're enjoying what you're doing, you're going to inspire your clients. You're going to get better results. You're really building something that's sustainable, enjoyable, all the reasons that you probably became a therapist for. So it's really important to choose that niche. So how do you go about deciding what niche to go into? Well, first of all, obviously, you want to be thinking about things that you are passionate, knowledgeable, and credible in. If you're trying to go into a niche that you're not passionate about, that you're not knowledgeable in, you're not credible in, well, you could do that. Of course, you could learn that, but it's going to be an awful lot easier to start off focusing on something that you do have that credibility, that knowledge, and of course that excitement, so that interest, because really people can't fake that. You need to be focusing on things that you enjoy, because you'll learn easier and your authenticity will come across to your clients. So choosing something you're interested in is really, really important. Really, really important, because that will come across. But how do you know if your niche is a valid niche? How do you know if there are enough people looking for that out there? And this is where a tech comes in. So it's really important to understand that what you're going to isn't just something that you're passionate about, but are there enough other people out there who share your passion, who want to be helped in that area? So for example, I've known people who've wanted to be specifically focusing on things like sports performance. And that's great. It's really interesting. It's a really fascinating area. However, the reality is there are not that many people looking for help with sports performance. There are people, but there are not that many. And there are quite a lot of people looking to provide services in that area. And it may be people who are combining their expertise as a sports coach, as a physio, something like that. So not many people looking, a lot of competition. So it could be a good niche for you, but just be aware that it's a pretty tough one to crack. So how do you find out, how do you get the data about what is a good niche and what isn't a good niche? So there are a number of tools out there. And as you know, I'm quite a fan of Google, because it's the best way to get yourself found organically without spending lots and lots of money on adverts. But it's also got some great tools to give you data as well when you're doing your research. So Google's search console, Google's keyword console is really, really fantastic. So a free tool there. So you search, look it up, you can download it. If you're already using Google, it's there. Like all these tools, they take a bit of getting to use, but Google's keyword search will give you fantastic data about how many searches are being performed, right through to how hard is it to get ranked in that particular in that particular area on keyword searching. So you'll get a lot of data from that tool. There are other similar tools out there. There is Moz Keyword Explorer, has a free version. It's another good product that a lot of people are using that you can try out. Another really good product is SEMrush, S-E-M Rush, one word. Again, there is a very, very powerful paid version of this, but there is a free version as well, which will allow you a certain amount of searches every day. These things are always changing from time to time, but Google Keyword Search, Moz Keyword Explorer, SEMrush are three products that are really good leading products. You won't go far wrong with those. They'll give you all the data you want to understand how many people are looking in those particular niches, how competitive is it to get ranked in those areas to basically get yourself found, how much will it actually cost you to get yourself clicks if you're doing AdWords. I'm not going to go into that now. As you know, I believe we can get where we need to get without spending money on ads, but what those keyword costs per click do give you, even if you're not running ads, is they do tell you how competitive your area is, because the higher the cost per click, the more competitive, the more difficult it is to get yourself to the top of rankings in that area. So those are all great tools. There are two other tools as well, which I'm going to recommend to you. One's a tool, one is more of a system. So the first one is something called Answer the Public. And it's not strictly giving you data in quite the same way, but it will tell you the keywords that people are searching with. We'll Answer the Public. And again, it gives you some free searches there. And you can use that not just for researching your niche, but also it's a really great tool to have for your marketing as well, for getting keywords for blogs and posts. So Answer the Public is a good one. And the final one, which I think not many people are aware of, but is really, really powerful. This is in the UK, but obviously you can get to it from anywhere in the world. It's called Hypnotherapy Directory, which is a directory of hypnotherapists. I think it's primarily in the UK. Primarily in the UK. If you're a hypnotherapist, here's another tip for free. If you're not already registered on Hypnotherapy Directory, you want to get yourself an entry on there. It's a good place to be. Helps with your backlinks. And no, I'm not getting sponsored or paid to plug them in any way. I think it's a good resource that you should be utilizing. But what they have on there is they actually do have, when you log into it, they have a little summary which tells you what people are searching for. So you can actually see the data volumes that people are going onto Hypnotherapy Directory to search for. So it'll tell you at any one time what are the things that people are looking for. So again, that'll give you a really, really good clue as to what niches are out there, what are people after, and that will help you inform your view. So I'll just give you a little bit of personal experience on this as well. So in the past, when I was working for Marissa Peer's in-house team, where we were providing hypnotherapy RTT services to her clients, again, we always had a picture of what people were searching for, what were the niches that people were looking for. And I think this data is pretty consistent as well with what you see on Hypnotherapy Directory, that pretty much the number one thing that people are looking for is anxiety. That is the biggest thing that people are searching for. So that is a big niche. There are lots of people looking, but of course it is also a fairly competitive niche because lots of people are working in the anxiety area as well. Which leads me into the third point that you really need to think about. So having understood whether there is a niche and a demand for your product out there, that thing that you are passionate about, which is really where you need to start. Go into it because you're passionate about it, not just because it's popular. So be passionate understand if there's a market for it. And then you really do need to think about, what is your offering? What is your story? What is the product that you are going to be selling that's going to meet the needs of your client? And it's always about meeting the needs of your client, putting yourselves in their shoes. If they're looking for help in a particular niche, what are they looking for? What do they need? When you think like that, you create value for your clients. When you create value for your clients, you create value for into high value. So having worked out what your niche is, you want to be making sure that your niche is well aligned with your story. If you're not already telling your story, see some of my other videos. You need to be telling your story, which explains why you do what you do, and why you're well positioned to help people in your niche or in your niches. And your product, to meet the needs of the client, needs to be packaged in a way to maximize their value, to maximize your differentiation. So if you're working on, let's say, relationships, of course, you could do hypnotherapy for relationships, believing that you're lovable, believing you want to attract the right person, the law of attraction, whatever that is. But what else might you wrap around that? What other things might you wrap around that? What other services can you provide for that person who is looking to have a relationship? So part of that is about obviously changing their subconscious thoughts and their mindset. But what other help do people need? What other help do they need going along that way? So your package could be therapy and coaching. So when you get somebody for example, who's come to you, who's been out the dating scene for a long time, maybe they've split up, maybe they've got divorced and they want to go back out there, you can work with them in hypnotherapy, giving them the confidence, the belief in themselves. You can put a lot of behavioral change out there for them. But maybe it's 10, 15, 20 years since they've been in the dating market. So can you guide them through what's changed? Can you guide them through online dating? What are the best courses? What are things that they need to think about? Because in my experience, to give value to clients and give value to yourself, you're not really going to give people the value they want by people coming in for an hour, or maybe coming in twice for an hour with you. Most people want to be taken on a journey. They want wider help than that. And once you've built that close relationship of doing hypnosis with somebody, you are perfectly positioned to be inside their head, to understand how they think, feel, what's going on for them, to give them the kind of advice that they need. Because what I find with my own work is there are always two elements to change. There is giving people the mindset, the confidence to change, but sometimes people need the tools to change. They need the direction to change. You can make them believe they're lovable, they can have a great relationship, but sometimes they need to actually understand, where are they going to meet people? How are they going to meet people? How are they going to write a profile? Take them through that whole journey. So choose a niche that you're passionate, interested and credible in. That's where you need to start, and then make sure that that niche is valid. And then when you've got that niche, think about how you position yourself in that niche. If you're going into something that's a big niche, something like anxiety, maybe you want to go down into a sub niche. A sub niche, maybe it's anxiety for women returning to work, or maybe it's men's anxiety, whatever it may be. Really think about how you position yourself and use those tools to understand how much demand there is for those particular services. And then, of course, look at how does it align with your story. And finally, really get creative on what's that package you can put together. This is something I talk about a lot in my Boost Academy program. I've got whole modules around how you develop your offering to be high value, how you can get really creative around that, but always putting yourself in the customer's shoes, in your client's shoes. What do they need from you? What do they want from you? What's going to get them the best result that's going to differentiate you, help you build that practice based upon doing great work, getting great results for people. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to sharing another one with you very, very soon. Thank you.